Hi there, John Wilkinson here, and welcome again to my History Made Easier channel. In this short video, I'm going to look at 4 key factors to the July crisis that preceded World War I. The first is the blank cheque. It's important because it emboldened Austria. It gave Austria confidence to push to the very brink of war. Now, we always use the blank cheque for putting blame on Germany. Germany gave the blank cheque, so it's a valid point. But we can often forget in all that it was Austria that went to Berlin asking Germany for its support. So the blank cheque. The next point I want to focus on is the ultimatum, the most formidable document I have ever seen addressed by one state to another independent state. Lord Grey, the British Foreign Secretary, that's how he responded to it. Sergei Sazonov, the Russian foreign minister, immediately contacted Tsar Nicholas, telling him that in his judgment, Austria was determined on war. That was his immediate response to the ultimatum. Austria wants war. So, we look at the ultimatum as a key point, a key moment in the July crisis. And then, of course, there is the Serb reply. Now, I would go back to Kaiser Wilhelm II here. He scribbled on his copy of the Serb reply a great moral victory for Vienna, but with it, every reason for war is removed. The Kaiser thought that was the end of it. So if we're looking at placing blame on anyone, I think that's a key moment, a key point to help us there. The Kaiser thought all reason for war was removed. So why was there a war? Do we continue to look at what Germany did, or should we look elsewhere? At Russia or at Austria-Hungary? Mobilization. Now then, Russia does mobilize first, after Austria-Hungary has mobilized against Serbia. Russia mobilizes first out of the powers that are not directly involved. And the great debate in Russia is whether to partially mobilize or fully mobilize. Partially means mobilizing only against Austria-Hungary in order to defend Serbia. Full mobilization means Russia also mobilizes only in preparation, not a declaration of war, but it will mobilize against Germany. So it's a threat to Germany rather than a declaration of war against Germany. But it's still a big deal. And when Russia fully mobilizes on July the 30th, the Tsar does so. He gives that order. He's dithered over it for long enough, but he gives that order knowing full well that Germany will see it as an act of war. So that, I think, is a key moment that we should think about. German mobilization is the big one. It's the big one because everybody knows once Germany begins to mobilize, it won't stop, because Germany thinks it can't stop. It knows it's going to be fighting a war on 2 fronts. So to stop that mobilization would mean it could be defeated, so it won't. once Germany decides to mobilize, that's it. It's going to war. And the other point about German mobilization is that it means, and Germany knows it means, when we're thinking about blame, Germany knows it's going to march through Belgium. And if Belgium resists, it means it's going to end up going to war with certainly Belgium and France, and most likely Britain. Germany knows what it's doing. So let's recap. Austria-Hungary knows what it's doing with that ultimatum and with its rejection of the ultimatum, or of the Serb response, Austria knows full well what it's doing. Russia knows the strong likelihood that its full mobilization will lead to war with Germany as well as Austria-Hungary. And Germany knows that by invading Belgium, it is almost surely going to go to war with Britain. So when we're looking at blame, there's a balance there. It's not all on Germany. There is a balance. Two other things to bring in. France, first of all. France does make it clear to Russia that it can rely on France's full support. A French blank check, if you like. And as far as Britain is concerned, Britain does try to bring about a peaceful settlement. It tries to open up encourage participation in a peace conference. But Britain dithers on going to war. Understandably, it's a big decision. But the thing about Britain's dithering, Britain's delaying making a decision, whether it's going to support the other Entente powers or not, there is an argument there that it does encourage Germany to mobilise. And if Britain had made it clear from the outset that if this comes to war, we're backing France and Russia, then Germany might have hesitated. So Britain has some responsibility, if not blame, when we come to look at the causes of World War I. So I hope that has been useful for you in the sense that it's teased out some key moments and I think shares the blame for war a bit more than maybe some analyses would. So as always, thank you for listening. Good luck with your studies and don't forget to have a look at my History Made Easier website. Cheers.